In early intervention, there's a lot of different types of students. So in the morning, you might be working with students who have severe language impairments, and then an hour later, you're doing very traditional articulation therapy. So in the beginning, it was really hard to be able to transition that quickly from so many different things, and then also looking at kids who have a lot of problems going on and figuring out what was the most important to address first. Oh, all the time. Even now, there are lots of students that you look at and you know that something's not right, and you know that you need to help them, but you're not sure exactly what to do or the best method to do it. And even though you spend every day with them for at least a half an hour, you still look at them like a puzzle. I have a lot of students where the diagnosis is unknown, and so they have a lot of deficits in terms of their development, but nobody's really been able to pinpoint why. And this year I have a student who, she's very unique in that she's extremely social. She understands social types of language, but does not understand like basic concepts. You ask her a question and she says no and will start to cry. But we're not really sure why, and we can't really figure out, the cause of that. Well, when I first started, and then last year, I had a student who has a pretty significant neurological impairment. He has a disorder called schizencephaly, which is a malformation of the brain, and one of the, symptoms or one of the things that happens to students with schizencephaly is they have a malformed mouth, and so he doesn't eat typically he doesn't talk, and so he was really challenging because there's so many things working against him, but he was also very smart and social, and so trying to figure out how to help him was really hard. In where I work, because our students are pretty significantly impaired, we celebrate the little victories. So maybe on the outside it doesn't look like they've made any progress. Sometimes you kind of have to cut your losses and start over again and develop some new goals and see if maybe they're not making progress in following directions, but they've gotten really good at asking for help. You think of new techniques by kind of seeing what other people do, and then look at your students and see how you can apply them, or see if you can tweak them for your students. So maybe my students really like arts and crafts, but they're not very good at following directions on their arrival routine, but maybe you can make it into an arts and crafts type activity, or you can make a game out of something that somebody else has tried. So a lot of it's just tweaking somebody else's idea to fit your students. The best advice I got was to get as many experiences as possible. So volunteer, find a organization that has speech therapists or a business, see if you can go and observe, do some volunteer work. A lot of people who provide speech therapy in the city are nonprofits, and they're always looking for somebody to even come and do something simple like help organize their library of pictures, or help organize their stockpile of articulation cards, and just being exposed to as many different opportunities and places where you can work and different caseloads. That's probably the most helpful. And also, don't be afraid if you know somebody who is a speech therapist. Ask them if you can come and volunteer, or do some research on the internet. YouTube is great. There's lots and lots of speech therapists who post their stuff on YouTube. So I would just do a little bit of research. Don't be afraid to kind of break out from the classroom and the textbooks.